Namaste and welcome to the audience in this brand new episode of Guest in Town, our program Guest in Town, Atithi Devo Bhava. It's me, your host Rohan Srestha, and today we are going to focus on the advertisement industry. For this, we have the chairman of Asian Federation of Advertising Association, Mr. Raymond. So let me welcome him. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Nepal. Welcome to Himalaya Television.
Thank you. It's my first time to Nepal, and I'm very excited to be here.
What do you know about Nepal? Can you please share some beautiful experience with Nepal, since recently you just landed in Nepal, isn't it?
Well, I've always known Nepal as a place where people are very peaceful, and it's a city of gods, a lot of cultural heritage. I always want to come. And the trekking, I've heard so much about the natural beauty in Nepal. And yesterday I arrived here, and I have been treated with the greatest hospitality from my Nepalese friends here. So I'm very happy to be here.
Right. You are here for the Kriti Award. Can you please say something on the importance of this kind of event for the promotion, for the growth of advertising industry?
In fact, in terms of the marketing industry and advertising industry, the most important thing that we have to showcase is our creativity, because the creativity turns a product into a brand.
Right.
The creativity adds so much value to your business, and if you can use creativity in the correct way, you are actually doing a great job by helping each other out. The advertising business and the marketing business will flourish in terms of having good creativity. For the audience, they would enjoy your product information instead of just watching at the propaganda type of information. They fall in love with the brand. They will have a chance to interact with the brand, and they have a chance to treat the brand as their own. So that's why creativity is not just showcasing some nice pictures or good art direction. It's marketing oriented. It can help the business. It can help the economy.
What is your expectation from this kind of events?
For this type of events, the best thing that we can take out of it is that you can learn from each other. You go to an advertising creative award, you look at the winning work, and usually what a good creative person will have this in his or her mind. I wish I did that. And if you have this urge in your mind to do better work, then you will put in your efforts, you'll try your very best to get the best work out of your future career. So this type of creative award actually will help to educate and inspire young creative talents. Everybody in the advertising business will strive for creative excellence.
Right. While talking about this youth, the young and creative talent of the nation, of the world, I want you to highlight something on your ups and downs, because it's been around 36 years that you have been enrolled in this business. When China was just recently started advertising as the business, can you please share some of the things, the ups and downs from the 1981 to present day?
Well, I'm very blessed, and I'm actually very happy that I joined the advertising business in 1981, which is the golden ages of advertising. And during that time, advertising agencies are actually already very professional. We got good training, and then we know
they were professional already at that time.
At that time, well, I started in Hong Kong, and Hong Kong was very much influenced by the Western culture, and most of the international agencies have already established offices in Hong Kong. So we got the training, and we got the exposure, and also we got this latest knowledge about how to manage a brand, how to create good advertising from a global perspective, and these help us to try to influence others. So when I first went to China, China did not have any idea about what advertising is.
Right.
To them, advertising is just painting a billboard, putting up a sign. So we have to start to educate our colleagues in China, and at the same time we educate the clients in China. And the most important thing is to change the attitude of the media about advertising, because in the past the Chinese media are all state-owned, and to them advertising is not an additional revenue. Advertising comes in to take space out of the media. So they were having a negative feeling about advertising. So we need to educate them and let them know that the audience actually enjoy good advertising. And that's why creativity comes into place. So these are the interesting things that I was very happy and lucky that I've been helping to grow the advertising industry in China, in Taiwan, and in some other Asian markets. The downside about the agency business is that in the recent years, in the past 10 years, technology has changed the industry drastically. It broke down a lot of the entry barriers, and put it in a slightly negative way, the old order was destroyed, and then the new order has not been established. So it's a time of chaos right now. Well,
chaos in what sense?
Chaos in the sense that the order in the industry, or the discipline in the industry, or sometimes even the relationship between the client, the agency, or the media has not been established in the correct way.
Can you please elaborate something on that?
Like, for instance, the biggest trouble or biggest problem in the industry right now is the lack of respect for each other. For most of the agencies and clients, we always have a long-term relationship. Like, for instance, the international brands like Ford, like Unilever, when they work with their agencies, over 50 years, 60 years, long-term relationship. But in many countries now, especially in Asia, the clients do not want to establish a long-term relationship with the client.
There is always the debate between this, client and the agency.
Yes, right. The client would go for a short-term contract, a year contract, or 2 years contract with the agency. And with such short relationship, the agency would not be able to become a partner for the client, would not be able to get to know the brand inside out. And these short-term relationships, which is happening now, actually created a lot of arguments and negative impact on the industry. The second thing is that because of the new technology, a lot of people set up their own small shops.
Right.
Or in the Soho group, what they call the individual practitioners. And these people, to a certain extent, is creating a cutthroat price war. And advertising cannot be measured by how much money you pay for the creativity. Creativity cannot be measured by like buying a chair or buying a toilet paper. Whereas this type of price war actually also drive the agency's business into a very negative area. The third thing is that many of the companies, many of the clients, they started to treat the agency as a supplier instead of a partner. And the final relationship, the contract or the compensation terms were negotiated by the purchase department, procurement department of the client instead of the marketing department. And the procurement office will always try to get the best price, which is the lowest price. Again, creativity cannot be measured in that way. So we definitely want to have the clients, the media, the agency come back to look at advertising from the right perspective, treasure the creative power, treasure the professionalism of the agencies.
While talking about this creativity, the debate between this client and the agency, what do you think is the major reason behind this? It is because of the lack of awareness, can we say that, or that there is something else?
Well, I think it's the, like I said, lack of order in the industry.
That is what, discipline. Why this kind of problem in this era?
Well, in the past, a client has to rely on an agency to get the things done because there's a big entry barrier. But now, because the client can easily find an alternative, a cheaper alternative, to them, they do not really see that good advertising or good creative has to be well planned and well organized. They look at just the final product. And with such a short-term perspective or a deviated perspective, they do not really treat the agency properly. And that's, I think that's the biggest problem.
We thought that this is just the problem of the underdeveloped countries like in Nepal. It is the global problem.
Yes, it's a global problem.
Right.
But I think for Nepal, I do not see Nepal being an underdeveloped market, because
it is developing.
It's developing. And also that's a good opportunity,
right,
because you don't have that baggage. And if we can start from very early stage to put in the discipline, to put in the right value, to put in the good coordination and working relationship among different partners in the industry, actually developing countries have a better opportunities.
To catch that opportunities, what should be done? What should the government do? What kind of policies they have to implement? Similarly, what the agencies, what the client they have to do?
Well, I think the government should support the marketing business or the communication business by giving more free hands, giving more support in terms of freedom of commercial speech. We at Asian Federation, we always promote the freedom of commercial speech. And at the same time, I think for the association, this is where the association comes in. Like in Nepal, the Advertising Association of Nepal can take the lead
right,
to let different parties in the communication business talk to each other. I think this type of open and honest discussion on the working relationship is very important. Do not take your agency as a supplier, treat them as a partner, and vice versa. The agency and the media should work together to create the best product, the best marketing platform for the client. So create a win-win situation instead of creating a competing situation.
Right. Since you have devoted your hours, your minutes for advertisement, what is advertisement for you?
To me, it's my career. I graduated from school, and advertising is my first job and also my last job. I've been in the business for 36 years and I enjoyed it. The reason why I enjoyed it is that advertising is a business that you take new challenges every day. You never repeat the same work. You cannot, because you have to innovate. You have to learn. Every day you have to learn new things, and every day you have to apply your new learning to create something which is more valuable and more effective. So it keeps me young. It keeps me moving forward.
Right. I guess you were the one pioneer figure to establish Lux as the brand in China as well, isn't it? Do you have some beautiful experience or the bitter experience in this field?
Beautiful experience is for all advertising people is that when you turn a product into a brand, when you launch a new brand and it becomes successful, becomes a top seller in the market, that type of satisfaction is great.
Right.
And also when you work together with your agency team and you create a piece of good advertising, and when you walk on the street or you stand in the elevator and have people say, hey, did you see that ad last night? It's excellent, it's good. That feedback is the motivation for us to move on, to take on the hard work, the long hours, and sometimes a lot of frustrations.
What kind of frustrations?
Well, most of the frustrations come from the difference in opinion between different parties in the agency or the client or the media, because advertising is part of it is science, and part of it is an art. There's no 100% standard answer to anything. You can look at it from different perspectives, and different people can have a different perspective. And it's a very subjective decision, or very subjective look at a piece of creative idea. So sometimes when you come up with something that you think is brilliant, but the other party may not share the same view, and that's sometimes a big frustration.
As the advertiser maker, don't you feel that you are compelling the public to buy the product? Compelling.
I don't think we compare.
Especially in case of children's.
No, I think this is an area which we will talk about the ethics of the industry. As a good advertising person or a good advertising industry, we have our self-regulation policies, and we always ask our practitioners to put ethics into the work. We are doing advertising as a commercial message. We're doing advertising and by sending interesting messages to our consumers. We want our consumers to understand how the product works, how nice it is, but we should not exaggerate, and we should not give false or untrue information. We should not mislead our consumers.
But don't you feel that they have been practicing or they are against this ethics of advertisement? Some advertise makers?
Those are the people who did not treat advertising as the proper profession. Of course, there are people like that. And that's why the Asian Federation, we have been asking all our members across Asia that this is our job and this is our responsibility to put in the good value in advertising, and to make sure that all our members, all our practitioners, which are mostly the leading companies in the country, to put this in practice and also make the influence and let people know that what we should do and what is good advertising.
Right. Well, thank you so much, sir, for your time and for your valuable opinions.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, the audience, thanks to you as well. We'll be right back with another guest. Keep watching Himalaya Television. We have Mr. Bharat Avlani, and he's the Chief Knowledge Officer of Asian Federation of Advertising Association. And let me welcome him. Welcome, sir. Welcome to Nepal.
Thank you, Robin.
Himalaya Television.
Lovely to be here.
Definitely. Tell us something about this visit of yours. Since you are here for the Kriti Award, what do you want to highlight on this?
I'm here as a guest of AN, and I'm honored to be invited. And we are here to support AN. We are here to support the Kriti Awards. And I believe it's very important that we have such awards to celebrate winning ideas. And awards like this actually demonstrate the power of an idea, because behind an idea is also a big brand, and there are a lot of people.
Right.
And the more we reward such people, the more we recognize such people, then we can it will inspire people to come up with more ideas, and more importantly, it will help the advertising industry grow.
What is your expectation from this kind of event or this Kriti Award?
My Kriti Award this time, I want to be surprised. I want to see things that I've never seen before, and I want to go back and tell the region, to tell the world one or two things that they can learn from Nepal.
Well, so this is not the first visit of yours in Nepal, isn't it? You have been closely observing the ups and downs, the market, the economy of Nepal as well. As the marketer, how do you analyze Nepal? What is your opinion on Nepal?
Firstly, I love Nepal. That's why I keep on coming. I first came here as a tourist, and today and later I was invited to speak at the Brand Fest. And as a marketeer, to me, Nepal is a marketeer's dream. For a marketeer to succeed or to do business, number one, you need people. And if you notice, there are a lot of countries in Europe, in the West, that don't have enough people. Nepal is a country of 30 million people. That is number one.
Right.
Number two, you need people who are emotional, who believe in emotions, because branding is all about emotions. And Nepalis are very emotional people. You also need people who believe in a better tomorrow.
Right.
And Nepalis are very resilient. I've seen them experiencing sorrows, I've seen them experiencing joy, but they are still smiling, and they're always looking for a better tomorrow.
Right.
The fourth one is that as a marketeer, you want people to have a lot of fun. And every time I find on the street, be it a holiday or be it a weekday, I always see people having fun on the streets.
Right, right.
So to me, it's a marketeer's dream.
You just coined the term emotional.
Yes.
Nepalese people are emotional. Emotion for advertisement. How do you see?
Extremely important. But it is emotions in the true sense of the word. I don't mean you use emotions to build your business. You use emotions to help people connect and remember your message. So take, for example, if one of your emotions is about not feeling good about your beauty, and you think beauty is all about external, and one of your worries is that if you think that if you are beautiful, then chances are you'll do well, and if you're not beautiful, then you'll not have that much of an opportunity. And that's where the Dove campaign came about. And,
right.
And basically what it says that be comfortable with your beauty. And if you're not comfortable with yourself, you'll not be comfortable with others. Now that's a very genuine emotions, and that's where people have rewarded you handsomely. And we are all emotional human beings. Most of the selling and buying decisions, you'll be surprised, are actually emotional decisions.
So you are the Chief Knowledge Officer of this Asian Federation of Advertising Association.
Yes, I am.
Tell us something about your part.
Yeah, so
as this, Chief Knowledge Officer.
Yeah. So my role is to focus on the people, to focus on the knowledge, to focus on the talent. And if I may go back to the comment which I made in 2012, AFAA made a decision to do something about young talent. So in 2003, we designed a program called Fast Track, where we invite people from the Asian region.
Right. In 2002?
2012, the idea was conceived. The first Fast Track happened in 2013 in Kuala Lumpur. And it is a 3-day program designed for young, promising talent who have had about 2-3 years experience in the advertising.
What kind of program was that? Fast Track?
Yeah, so the word as it suggests is actually fast track. So this program is to enable them to fast track their careers. That's easier said than done, because if you noticed, particularly in our industry, it's a very stressful industry, and if you don't love what you do, if you don't find meaningfulness in your work, and if you don't have genuine love for people, you get burnt out very fast.
Right.
And so what we do is that we actually help people fast track their lives, both at a personal level and at a professional level, find meaningfulness in whatever they do, and also take charge of their lives. And our industry, I always say that I love this industry, and I consider this industry as a very noble profession, because we are in the communication business and the branding business, and people have a lot of trust in us.
Right.
And the stories we tell create the world we live in. And in that sense, you also got to look at your job
right.
in that kind of a perspective, that you get a chance to make a difference in people's life.
Tell us something about this Nepal's participation in Fast Track.
Actually, I'm so happy that Nepal has been looking out, and we have had participants from Nepal who have been coming for the Fast Track program. Though the numbers may be small, but the impact is huge. And I'm quite happy to know that when they go back, they're all doing extremely well in their jobs. They are progressing well in their careers, but more importantly, they are smiling, they're enjoying their work,
right.
and they're going to be there for a very long time.
Do you want to say something about the impact of this Fast Track globally?
To date, we have reached out to about 131 participants from about 10 countries. The numbers may be small to you, but these are lives. You know, we have impacted 131 lives, and they have changed. Their perspective has changed. They are completely energized, and when they go back to their countries, when they go back to their jobs, they look at everything in a very different perspective. And this is a sold-out program. Unfortunately, we can't take more than 30 people because we really actually focus on them.
Right.
And I have beautiful messages from people, from their bosses, of how impactful this program is. Take an example, Ujaya from Outreach, Nepal.
Right, Ujaya Sakya.
Yeah, Ujaya Sakya, you know. So he's been sending people from his company regularly, and he's always got positive things to say. And one of the things he says that, he said now they treat the company's business as their own personal business. And I think that's a fantastic compliment, right. Where people actually take responsibility for the people they serve. And I think it's those moments that make a huge difference. And sometimes they said that, look, I probably look at my client differently. I forget that clients are also people at the end of the day. and they put themselves in the client's shoes, and they have and they don't look at clients as clients.
Do you have any other plans in the pipeline?
Yes, we got a lot of plans. I wish we can reach out to more people, and I really want to accelerate this. And I think one of our initiatives is whether we can do online, we can do webinar seminars, where we actually don't want to focus too much on skills, but we want to focus on the people and learn from people of how they are coping and with their lives, how they are coping with the challenge that we have, to inspire other people. So online web digital is one area. We are also looking at relaunching our website where people have more access to the knowledge.
Sir, you were associated with Unilever as well, isn't it? Tell us something about the problem in this sector.
See, I've been with Unilever for 24 years.
24 years?
I served Unilever for 24 years, and I took an early retirement. And I think one problem that I find
in this industry,
is that people are becoming a bit too smart. They are becoming over smart, and we realize, and they tend to forget that marketing is sometimes common sense. And I think I realized that people are using too much of their head and less of their heart. They tend to be very logical in terms of their approach to marketing. And to me, marketing is actually magical.
But business is from the head, isn't it? Not from the heart.
No, it's not true, sir. Business is both a combination of head with the heart. Because for your business to be sustainable, for your business to go on the long run, you just cannot make money. You got to put people before profit. And only businesses that put people before profit get handsomely rewarded. And if you only think of profit, you'll not go very long.
Thank you so much, sir, for your time and for your valuable opinions.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to you as well, the audience, for your time. Please do stay with us for more news and entertainment packages. Keep watching Himalaya Television. Namaste.